Hey y'all, CB here at NBS Welding. Got a lot of interest and views on my video that I had done on my mower rig. Got a lot of experience with my Minion mower rigs. I've been using them for over a decade. I'm actually on my second one, and we're going to do another video on it. Here's a 30-second clip for you, just to watch real quick. Give you a chance to see them minions cut grass. I got a feeling after you seen them cutting that little bit of grass on that 30-second clip there, you're probably going to want to keep on watching. We can also show you what it's like getting them out and hooking them up. And I'll probably speed that up a little bit. But just so you know, getting them out, hooking them up, gassing them up, and getting them started, it takes exactly 5 minutes. My bloodhound went to get a drink of water. But I figure, you seen everything else, you just well watch me put that Minion rig away. Zucchini and squash and peppers and maters. The Minion mower rig. Had a lot of interest in this. Every time I'm running it, there's people with their phones out up on the road up there shooting film. I'd done a couple videos on it, I think 3 total, maybe 4, and had a lot of comments on it. And I decided to do another video that would show everything kind of together. This is the Minion mowers with them rigged up single file, and you would run them single file like this to take them through a gate. And you'll see in the video, this has the capability to go through a really small gate and into a really small area, but then you can spread it out. And when it's spread out, what you've got right here, this is 6 20-inch push mowers. They got about a 2-inch overlap. So when you're pulling them straight, you're mowing 110 inches, 9.16 feet per lap. The cut quality can't be beat. The only bad thing in my situation is, and I've had a lot of people comment on the other videos where they mentioned that I was mowing the rocks out here because I've got gravel that I have to pull them over, and I don't shut them off when I'm pulling them over the gravel. Well, in my situation, because I have to pull them over the gravel, the blades are set pretty high. And if I could, I would probably at times set the blades lower. But if I set them lower, I can't pull it over the gravel. I can pull these over the gravel with no problem. They don't throw rocks at me. They don't throw rocks around like you would see if the blades were down lower. And that's a big advantage, like with my tractor. If I want to cut the grass 4 inches, I can cut it 4 inches. I can turn a knob and cut it 2 inches. I can't easily do that with these, and that's a drawback. You'll see that they mow the bank absolutely fantastic. They mow a big grassy area absolutely. It's just a great setup. And I want to show you how I've got them linked together and the way that they go from single file to spread out. This lug right here that lines the wheels up pretty much straight is the one you would hook it to when you're setting them up single file like this, so you can pull them straight and not take up a lot of space. This other lug right here That's as simple as that. So when all of them are connected to the lug on that side, then all of them are at the wide angle that allows it to cut 110 inches per lap. Another thing that I would want to mention that I've got a tremendous amount of comments on is there's been a bunch of people say, why don't you take off the handles? That's one of the comments, although I appreciate every comment. I even appreciate the negative comments because any comment's good for the channel. If you want to help me out and you don't feel like commenting, go to the comment section and just make a period or a letter or a number, anything. It's still a comment and it still helps the channel. But the comment that I've had at least a half a dozen times where people said, why don't you take off the handles? I don't understand why you would take off the handles. I use the heck out of these handles. I don't touch these Minion mowers without using the handles. And if the handles weren't there, they'd be hard to handle. You know, I move them around all the time. I hook them up, I disconnect them, I push them in the shop to do maintenance on them. Every time I touch them, I use the handle. And actually, the pull starters on them are connected to the handle, which puts the pull start rope halfway up, so I don't even have to bend over to grab the pull start rope. If you didn't have the handle, you'd have to bend over even just to pull start it. The shut off is on the top of the handle, which I have tied back with a zip tie, of course, but I don't have to bend over to shut them off. I just slide the zip tie over, release the handle, and shut it off. So the thing about the handles, that comment, I don't know why you would take off the handle. There would be, as lightweight as that handle is and as handy as it is to handle the mowers, I don't see any reason why you would ever take the handle off. And besides that, I haven't done anything to these mowers to stop them from being used just like a regular push mower. So why would you take the handle off where you couldn't use it as a push mower if you just wanted to use it as a push mower? Another comment that I want to address that I've had a lot of comments on, probably even more than the handle thing. I've had a lot of people say when I'm mowing the bank with them up there and they're on an angle that they're concerned that it's going to be bad for the engine because it's not going to get lubrication. This is my second Minion mower rig. I've been mowing with these rigs for over a decade now. I've never had a lubrication issue. I don't think it would matter if you turn these things up 90 degrees and run them. As a matter of fact, I bet you could turn these engines 90 degrees with the exhaust shooting straight up in the air, and it's not going to hurt the engine. The thing is, I think what people are thinking when they're thinking that this isn't going to, you know, they're thinking that when that engine's sitting there on a 50-degree angle, that the oil's not going to sling in it, or the oil's not going to reach places that it should. Let's take a look at this engine. You look at the size of that case and the amount of oil that's in it. Guys, this isn't having oil pan like's on your truck, all right? This oil, no matter how you tilt that engine, she's gonna sling that slickum pucky all over the place in there. You're not gonna have an issue with a lack of lubrication. Now, my original Minion rig, the very first 6 mowers that I bought and built the first rig with, I did wear the engines out in 7 years. In 7 years, I had 3 mowers that were running but hard to start, and I had 3 that were almost impossible to start. And the 3 that were almost impossible to start would start, but I was starting them by connecting a cordless impact gun on top of the crankshaft and spinning them that way, and then they would start. So why did that happen? Okay, they lasted 7 years, and I cut a bunch of grass with them. But I believe I know why they did wear out eventually. And the reason why was air filter. And the dirty air, the dirt that got in the engines that caused the engine wear went in through the dirty air filter, because these mowers, when they're mowing, are throwing dirt at each other, something fierce. So the air filter maintenance needs to be done way more than you would think. Normally on a small engine, 20 hours would be, you would only need to clean or inspect an air filter every 20 hours. On these things, it's more like 8. And actually, I've also had a comment where people said that you should put them in a V configuration. I've done that before. People have suggested other ways of putting them. Look, the way I've got them, there's a reason for it. I have them in the 45-degree angle that they're in, because that keeps the air filters the cleanest. Based on where the grass is blown out of the machine, where the dirt gets blown out of the mower, and the location of the air filter, I've got them as good as I can get them to keep the air filters as clean as I can keep them. And I've also got a lot of extra air filters now. I think I have 18 of them. So I have clean air filters on standby all the time, soaking in oil, ready to pull these out, put new ones in, and then when I get the time, I'll clean the other ones, get them soaking in oil, and I've always got clean, oily air filters to put on the machines. Now, another thing that a lot of people have suggested was upgrading the gas tank so it'd have a bigger gas tank. That is totally unnecessary. These things run so long on that tiny little tank of gas that there would be absolutely no reason why it would bother you to put gas in it. You got to remember, when you've got 6 of them and you're cutting almost 10 foot every lap, you're going to get a bunch of mowing done on a tank of gas. A tank of gas running these like this is not like the amount of mowing you would do with one tank of gas. It's 6 times that. So putting gas in them frequently has not been a problem whatsoever. I mow everything I want to mow around here without having to fill up. No problem. If anything was to be upgraded on these machines, I would say it would be the air filter. If you could put a huge air filter on each one of them, like as big as the air filter that's on the 6.2 V8 that's in the Super Service truck, you know, then you would really be getting into something that would save you from goofing with it a lot, because you'd have 6 or 8 times the amount of air filtration that these foam filters have. And so that's the thing. And the other thing on the gas tanks is, I've had a bunch of people say, well, it seems like you're using a lot of gas. And I got to go back to saying that I'm cutting between 9 and 10 feet every time I mow a lap. You're not using more gas than what it would take if you were using one mower, because you're getting done 6 times faster than if you were using one mower. And also, when you pull them with the 4-wheeler, there are times when you are pulling them over an area that you may have already mowed. But the thing about the 4-wheeler is I can speed up so fast anytime I want that I can go really fast and quick over those areas and not waste a lot of gas and time. Now, another thing that's been suggested that I wouldn't mind to mention is, people are wondering why I pull them with a 4-wheeler and not a riding lawnmower, because if I was pulling them with a riding lawnmower, I'd have even more blades to cut with. I have pulled these with a riding lawnmower. I had a Husqvarna, I think it was a 26 horsepower Husqvarna riding lawnmower here that I pulled these with, and I'll tell you a couple things about it. It did work. It worked fine. it seemed like it was really, really hard on the hydrostatic transmission in that mower to pull these. So if you're thinking of doing that, you better make sure you got a mower capable of pulling, because a lot of the newer hydrostatic transmission lawnmowers, those transmissions are not made to pull equipment. They're made just to move the machine. They're really handy how you can, you know, you push forward, it goes forward, you go backward, you go backward, you push backward, you go backward. It's, you know, that part of it's nice, but they're pretty light duty, you know, and it doesn't matter what it is, Husqvarna, John Deere, whatever. I've had issues with the Husqvarna and John Deere, both hydrostatic transmissions. So one thing is, it is hard on a riding lawnmower to tow. It does take quite a bit of force to tow 6 push mowers. But another thing is, with this 4-wheel drive 4-wheeler, I can climb hills, I can climb banks, I can go a lot faster. I can speed up and slow down a lot faster. You know, even a hydrostatic transmission on a lawnmower, when you can go faster forward by pushing more forward, that's no competition for this 4-wheeler that'll go 40 miles an hour in seconds. You know, the 4-wheeler is far superior, and it does a better job pulling these things. I'm going to look at my list real quick and see if I can think of anything else that I wanted to address as far as comments or questions on the Minion mower rig, and we'll see if I come up with anything I forgot. I spread the Minions out on their 45-degree angle. This is, you know, the way it would be in the cut mode. That would be, you know, the cut width per lap, where you got your little bit of overlap, but overall you're mowing between 9 and 10 feet every time you go around. I looked at my notes about any other things that I had gotten comments on, things that I could address or bring up in this video. And another thing that I saw was about the wheels. There were people that mentioned that I should upgrade them by putting caster wheels on instead of just the regular mower wheels. That won't work. These mower wheels, all going straight the way they go and sliding the way they turn, it's critical in its operation. If there were any caster wheels on here and you went to mow a hill like I mow with it, it wouldn't track right. It would be way out of whack. If you build a mower rig on casters, it needs to be more locked into the machine that you're pushing, pulling, towing, or whatever with, because it's just going to go crazy. These things actually track a certain way because of the wheels all being straight. And then when you turn, they slide, which brings up another thing that I want to address, where I've got a lot of comments from people, is about just the overall life of the wheels, and it's impressed me, believe me. The way they get pulled with that 4-wheeler, which obviously replacing some wheels is not a big deal, but like, I've had wheels last 7 years, not all of them, and there's some wheels here that need replaced right now on the rig. But I'm saying, like, I've had wheels that lasted 7 years. And they do better than you would think. They do way better than you would think, considering the kind of miles that's on these things. And you just imagine the amount of miles you get when you pull these with a 4-wheeler like this. It would take you forever to push one nearly as much as I've pulled it. And I'm pulling it at a higher rate of speed. Sometimes they're on blacktop. They slide sideways a lot. I mean, it's a lot. It's really, you would think that you would only get one season out of a set of wheels, and it's just not the case. The only other thing I can think of that's been mentioned probably more than once is people saying that I should rig up an emergency shutoff, and I'm probably never gonna. That's a safety thing, and I probably should. I'm just not gonna. You know, if you had an emergency safety shutoff of some sort, you'd have to connect it and disconnect it every time you messed with them. I'm just not gonna. It's what I'm doing is dangerous. Don't get me, don't, consider this for entertainment purposes. This is an entertainment purpose video. This is not something where I'm trying to tell you to do something like this, because running a rig like I got going right here and having these mower handles tied back with zip ties like I've got them, it's dangerous. And I guess I'm just going to keep being dangerous because that's the way I roll. But anyway, I wanted to do another Minion video. There'll be video. I hope you got to see. My plan is to start out showing them mowing, because that's the most fun. And so then this part will be at the end. And I really appreciate it if you would comment on the video, even if you don't have a comment. Like I said, put a period at number 469. I don't care. Just if you engage with the video at all, the YouTube algorithm likes it a lot better, and it'll share it to other people, and we'll all get to enjoy it, and it helps my channel so I can continue to create content. For the most part, my content is based around the welding and fabrication work that I do, and I do want to share that, especially with a lot of the younger people, hoping that it motivates people to want to work with their hands. But the Minion mower rig has become something that I've done videos on, because I've had so many people just basically enjoy watching me mow with it. And if that's something that will bring up more views, likes, subscriptions, and comments on the channel, then that keeps me going, producing content to hopefully motivate some young people to get out there and work with their hands and do something that's satisfying, like the stuff that I do is really satisfying to me and makes me feel capable and happy, and fills a void, I think, that every man has. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. And learn how to work with what you got. That way you always have everything you need. Hey y'all, CB here in the break room at NBS Welding. I'm hollering at you about the NBS Welding t-shirts. We've still got NBS Welding t-shirts with the NBS Welding on the front, big NBS Welding on the back. We have had a lot of orders so far, which a lot for us doesn't take that much, but we got the American flag right here on the sleeve. We do still have t-shirts. It helps the channel if you buy a t-shirt. If you think you'd like to have an NBS Welding t-shirt, please get a hold of us. Send Tina an email request to nbswelding@aol.com. We have had some people order t-shirts, and of course we want to give the shout out and the thanks for helping the channel by ordering a t-shirt. And we have got a lot of compliments. These are good quality shirts. People have mentioned that they're good quality shirts. They're comfortable and everybody likes them. Haven't got any complaints at all on the t-shirts that we mailed out. So $25 plus shipping for a t-shirt. And if you send the email request to Tina, nbswelding@aol.com, and she'll figure out where you're at, and she can figure out what it's going to cost to ship it to you, and we'll get it done. All right? So thank you. Hey y'all, I'm getting a video put together where I was doing some TIG work on an aluminum motorcycle part, and I got something I want to show y'all. Pretty excited about it. My buddy Kenny gave me this. Him and his wife are starting a business doing this. I want to show you this cup. This is one of these tumbler cups, an insulated cup. I want to show you the lid. Nice lid. It's got the seal on it, and then it's got this this slide closure. Fits real nice in the cup. So he made this NBS welding cup, and him and his wife are doing this. What this is on here, I think, which I'm not an expert, but he said it's a wrap. So he prints a wrap and installs it on the cup. The other things it comes with, get this open. There's a nice stainless straw, and then it comes with this. Obviously, this is what you'd clean the inside of the straw with if you needed to get in here and clean it out. So he was talking about he's given me this one. This one's mine, and he's talking about saying, the only thing he wants for this cup that he's given me is for me to try to get him some publicity for the business. And here's what I'm proposing to do. I have no intentions of making a dime off this. If there's money to be made here, I want it to be for Kenny. And what I want out of it would be just for the channel. And before, I didn't catch Kenny in time with the idea that I had, because the morning after he had already made this, I come up with my own idea about it. And here's my idea. If you look at how he made this, there's actually on the top and bottom where you got the bull, the NBS bull and the circle and the slash, there's 4 of them. There's 4 of them around here. The idea that I thought of on a cup like this would be to not only have the bull, but to have the QR code that you can scan with a smartphone that takes you directly to the YouTube channel NBS Welding. So obviously, like, Kenny gave me this cup. This one's mine. I'll use it. This is my NBS Welding cup. The cups that I propose that he makes, and I want to know, you guys please comment. Tell me what you think about this. The cups that he makes, I think, should have a bull and a bull. So straight across from each other at the bottom, there would be a bull and a bull. And then straight across opposite that would be a QR code and a QR code that takes you to the NBS Welding YouTube channel. So if you see what I'm talking about, we would have a QR code here maybe, and the bull here, and then there would be a QR code here and a bull here, and you'd still have the NBS Welding going all the way around, and the background he's done, you should be able to tell. It's like an aluminum diamond plate. And I think it looks pretty cool. And it looks like a quality cup too. This, I don't think it's a cheapo cup. If you just see how that slides, and the thing fits. It's good stuff. So here's the deal. Like he was saying, well, I got to give you a price good enough that you can mark it up and make some money. I don't want to make some money on it. I want it to help Kenny out, and I want it to promote the channel. Because here's what I'm thinking about. If you guys would want one of these, and you're going to work, I'm just imagining like how people, they go to work, you're in the truck with the guy, you're in a truck with your buddy and you got your coffee or whatever, whatever you drink, you got it in your cup, and you get in the truck and your buddy's like, "What's that on your cup?" That looks like a QR code. Well, scan it with your phone and you'll see. And the guy goes to the NBS Welding channel, and then maybe we get somebody else that subscribes to the channel, and that would help the channel out. And you got like places where people work where there's like a break room, and people sitting around having their break or their lunch or whatever. They got their cup, and somebody sees the QR code and they can scan it. So the deal is, he was saying he was going to give me a deal on these at $18. And the thing is, like right now, we're talking small quantities. This would be, so if any of you are interested, I want to know if you would be willing to pay $18 plus the shipping for Kenny to make you one of these and ship it to you. So that's what it would cost, around, I'm saying $18, and obviously the shipping is going to depend on where you're at. We're in Central West Virginia, so it depends on that. But let me know what you think. I just want to get the QR codes out there and get people scanning and get them to the channel. Kenny was saying, "Well, I want you to be able to make some money on it. I'll give you a price where you can make some money on it." And if we can get into some quantity of them, maybe we can get a better price. But, as of now, the time he's got to put in, just to make a few of them, I think he's got to have the $18. Because he's got to print this thing. He's got to buy the cup. He should get something for having the printer and designing the thing and printing it. And then he's got to put the wrap onto the cup. So, and the other thing I did was, like, I went online and I was looking at cups that have stuff on them that, personalized like this. And where I was looking at them, I'm seeing them, in the $20 to $35 range. So I don't think he's way off. And I don't know anything about the cost of any of this. I'm like anybody else. If something comes up, I'm going to do like a Google search on it. Like anybody's going to just do a Google search. And I'm finding where, if you want something this elaborate with this much stuff on it, I did see some cheaper cups, and particularly like little water bottle type things. If they're printed like only on one side and the print is only one color, they're a lot cheaper. And I even saw them down to like $4 or $5 a piece. But you have to buy like a minimum of 50. Well, I mean, if I got to buy 50 of them at $5 a piece, I don't know if we're ready to put that investment in here yet. And, it's what they're wanting to do on the one that's that cheap, wouldn't work for the idea that I've got. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's got to have the NBS bowl. And it's got to have the QR code. And the bowl has to be black, and the circle and the slash has to be red. And those ones that were cheaper were like one color is all you get. It's like, it would be printed on the thing. It's not a full wrap. It's printed on one side. It's one color. It's not going to work for the idea that I got. So let's promote this for Kenny is what I'm saying. And, you guys, whether you're interested or not, you can help me out just by giving me a comment. Like, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about the idea, or if you got an idea that'll help the channel, give me a comment. So, all right. Thank you, guys.